So recently, we saw Budweiser kind of come down and crack down on a local craft brewery called Modus Brewing because they named a beer called the Dilly Dilly.
Hmm.
Uh, and that was just kind of a blatant poking fun at the kind of ridiculous uh, commercial that we all know now, and
Right.
some of us dislike with a powerful passion. But yeah, but they what they did in response, what I loved about Budweiser's response to this was that they sent a decent cease and desist, but they did it with a town crier, a guy with full get up, like Renaissance get up, and they sent him into the brewery, and he read from a parchment, and he read the cease and desist. And the brewery, of course, was like, oh, okay, well, we kind of assumed this was coming, and it was a built-in publicity stunt, but
Right.
they've since renamed the beer immediately. They renamed it the Turncoat, which I think is hilarious.
That's awesome.
And they took the cease and desist and they put it on the wall. Great way to handle the situation. No harm, no foul. They figured it out. Now this new situation that cropped up is a little bit more serious in that Stone Brewing has accused Miller Coors, one of the big beer companies, of copyright infringement, of kind of trampling over their brand. You want to tell me, because you've read, I feel like, more about the latter than I have. So
Right. What's going on is Miller and Coors, they of course make and they distribute Keystone Light. What they're doing is they're adding more emphasis to the Stone part of Keystone, which has always been part of the slang. We talked about this beforehand before we started recording, how people refer to Keystone as just, throw me that stone. Like, that's how it's always kind of been. But with them actually deliberately using that in the marketing, and what they're doing is they're actually taking the cans and they're putting the word Stone huge across the side of the can. They're literally almost sort of rebranding the beer as being Stone Light. So
yeah,
Stone
you
Brewing,
can't do that.
yeah, they're not really happy about it because they feel that they're being infringed upon with their registered trademark, and they also feel that Coors and Miller are deliberately confusing the marketplace and maybe trying to sell more beer by confusing people who may not be as necessarily educated on the whole craft beer scene like you and I or most of our listeners and readers would be, or viewers would be. So, I don't know. I've read both sides, arguments saying that there's no way in hell that this is ever going to hold up, and also some accounts that say that Stone absolutely has a fair argument, and this could actually go in their favor should it go to, a big court case. So, I don't know. It's interesting, though, to see one of these craft breweries, even though it's as big a craft brewery as Stone is, it's been around forever, to just go head on straight at big beer like this. So, either way, it's going to be a historic case for craft brewing in general and the industry as a whole.
Yeah, I'm glad, regardless of the outcome, I'm glad that Stone decided to step forward and say, this isn't okay.
Right.
Because there are times where other breweries have kind of towed the line there with just beer can design and a few things like that. But in this situation, it's pretty blatant. Like in the video that Koch has talking about the Keystone, he's holding it up, and all you can see is the side of the beer, and the only thing you can read is Stone.
And it's massive.
And
it's the full
it
length
is.
and width of the can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally the only thing you can read. And if you ask me, if you ask anybody on the street, I guarantee you, then maybe they'll go to focus groups when this case goes into arbitration or wherever it goes. If it goes just to court, they'll hold it up and say, "Where do you think this beer was brewed?" And anybody somewhat familiar with craft beer might say Stone.
Yeah.
In which case they'd have a pretty good case.
Well, I mean, let's say hypothetically speaking, you've got a brewery that's called Rosebud. Just throwing out that out there. If they did the same
Nice.
thing and they just put the word Bud in gigantic letters along the side of the can,
Yeah.
InBev would lose their shit. So, yeah.
Yeah. And we wouldn't be seeing some news media about that. InBev would come down and have some guy in a tuxedo and shades be like, wait. And I know I just talked about how Budweiser handled that other thing pretty well, but they when it comes down to something that serious,
Yeah.
it isn't somebody naming a beer. It's not like
It's
they
not
did
tongue in cheek.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It's
actually
just,
infringement. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't know.
We'll see
what
how it
happens.
turns out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm on the side of Stone in this one, obviously, but
Sure.
I don't like Keystone anyway. I think it's gross.
I don't
It's
know
my
who
least
does.
favorite beers.
I've never known anybody who's actually gone out of their way to purchase Keystone. I just don't know anybody who drinks it.
Maybe that's a fun video for us to never do, but to compare the various different tastes of light crappy beer. Because I've got friends from college that can differentiate between Coors Light, Miller Light, Keystone Light, Bud Light, and the rest. I prefer my beers to have some taste and flavor and hops. That being said, evidently Keystone is one of the preferred brands for certain circumstances. So I don't know.
Really? What are certain circumstances though? Because I mean, I can drink a PBR if I'm like fishing, and I just need it as a means of staying hydrated.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Like maybe like I don't know. I feel like
It's
super cheap in tailgating or something. I don't know.
It's marathon drinking. It's people that want to have a beer in their hand the entire night and feel like they've been drinking the entire night, but not be completely obliterated.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it does take a certain level of maturity and tolerance to drink a lot of craft beer and be able to hold it. So.
Yeah. But yeah, Keystone, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It's going to be really interesting. Like I said before, it's however this shakes out, it's going to be historic. It's going to be kind of a milestone for, the craft beer industry versus InBev and all the big major distributors and brewers. So, I don't know.
Let us know
we'll have
what
to
you
do
think.
another video when this thing inevitably goes past arbitration into like a legitimate court case, and then however long that takes, and then we'll talk about the outcome and the ramifications for the industry. So, yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching. Go Stone. We're with you all the way.
Yes, we are.
So yeah, cheers.
Cheers. I think it's ironic that might have been the first video that we haven't sipped beer while talking.
Oh, I did. I don't know if you noticed.
Okay. Okay.
I'm hoping that, like I said, like this green cup I'm holding will actually like disappear when I key the footage.
Yeah.
When I do the mat, it'd be just hysterical. If I'm just sitting here and like all of a sudden like a big chunk of my face just disappears. Oh.
Maybe that'll make people like trolls will comment then and be like, "You f***ed up your chroma key."
Then people will actually start commenting on the videos just to make fun of us. Yeah. You know what? I'll take it.